Hi YouTube, it's Big Apple. It's been a while since I've made an appearance here. I guess in lieu of doing another review, if you have any interest besides seeing my reviews of Ruger SR9 Compact, which I posted, I believe, like first of all the reviews I've done, Car CM9, you'd like to see a review of my own AR-15. I know it's one of the full-size ones. It's pretty huge. Hard to get in front of the whole thing. But if you wish to see a review of this and for me to give you my take on all of the accessories I put on it, just give me some feedback in the comments, and if I get enough want for it, I'll be happy to post up a video with my AR-15. But on to this one. Apologize for the low ink, as you can see, but yeah, and my hands are dirty, still having to clean guns after visits to the range. I don't have somebody doing that for me. So anyway, on to the review. This is the Beretta 92, or 90-2 as people on the Beretta forum call it, just a dash sometimes too, because of the weird way that they had named it. They tried to make it different than the regular 92 FS, and they used some sort of, you know, trying to change it up. You can see it engraved on the slide right there. But for its use, for me, this is my home defense weapon. As you can see, I have it outfitted with the Streamlight TLR1S, which I really like. It has a strobe feature. If you double tap up on this, it'll strobe. If I can actually get it to do it. There it is. And then it'll also do just a regular on that you can lock on. Either way, great thing. I could review that too if anybody has any want for it. But anyway, home defense weapon. I load it with either 15 rounds of 9mm or 10 rounds of 40 caliber, and I'll be getting to that later and discuss what I mean exactly by that. But yeah. Also, another good use for it is recreation. This is a very forgiving gun to shoot because it's so heavy and shoots a 9mm. A lot of people say, well, that's ridiculous, a 9mm is that heavy. And you know, I can see where they're coming from because it is a pretty heavy gun. But I mean, for the most part, this thing is just it's so simple to shoot because you don't feel anything. It's not hard in your hands at all. Anyway, on to the next. Included in the box, you get the usual, you know, your lock, your magazine loader, your paperwork, whatever. And it comes with two, I have it in quotes, 17 round magazines. These are the ones that came with it. I kind of modified them a little bit to make the numbers show up a little more, as you can see. Kind of makes it cool, but it claims 17. See 17 right there? That's what it claims. But I have never been able to get 17 to fit in those magazines with a mag loader. I haven't tried with like an Uplola or anything, one of those little tools, but I've been completely unable to get 17 rounds in that thing ever. It's always been 15, and I've been shooting this thing. I've probably put nearly, I don't know, 7,000-8,000 rounds to this gun. Still cannot fit 17 rounds in the factory mag. So I'm going to call it a 15 rounder because that's as many as I can get in there. For 40, it's 10, and I'll get into the interchangeability and stuff later because you can also get this gun in 40 caliber. Anyway, on to weight. It's really heavy, 32.5 ounces. It's extremely heavy. I have right there, creates low recoil. I probably harped on that earlier. It's a stout gun, very heavy gun. For guys that actually conceal carry this, that's why I didn't put it under use. I know I frequent Beretta forum. There are a lot of guys that conceal carry this gun. I don't know how they do it. It really just baffles me because, as you can see, it's very wide. If we were to go back to my concealed carry gun, the car, yeah, you know, they look the same right there, but then look at the grip and stuff. I mean, this thing's huge. It's a big gun, and the metal frame does not make it any lighter. It just makes it heavier. I mean, it's a stout gun. It's a great gun. I like it for home defense, and you know, your follow-up shots can be quicker with something heavier, but it's not something I would carry concealed because I have two other great options for that. So, calibers available. You can get it in 9. You know, that inhales all those names. Also get it in 40, and then I have both down there because this is a very versatile platform. As you can see here, I have it done. I guess I didn't even mention this. This is Cerakote Coyote Tan, a little two-tone color I did. I originally got it all black. I really like the way it looks. It's very unique, and got some Trijicon night sights on there. But the cool thing about this, you know, for the field stripping, very simple. Pop the slide off. I bought this slide used from a member on Beretta forum. This is a 96 Vertex slide, the Beretta 96, which is basically the 92 and 40 caliber. But what's so awesome about this platform, I was able to stick this on here no problem, and it runs flawlessly. The only differences with the 40 and the 9mm is the ejector. This ejector kind of takes a beating because on the 40 caliber ones that come originally as a Beretta 96, where the frame is originally a Beretta 96, this part isn't angled. You can see how it's got that little notch in there to fling brass this way with 9mm. On the 40 it's flat. So I guess it tears up your brass a little bit when you're shooting 40 because it kind of digs into the very edge of it, but I mean, I reload and I'm able to reload 40 just fine even with the ejector like that. But that's really the only difference I can see between the two calibers when I compared two frames side by side, a 96 and a 92 frame. Well, I guess it shouldn't even really be called a feed ramp because this is a fixed barrel pistol, but this little notch right here may be bigger on the 40 caliber version. I'm not sure. That's what I've heard from some people. But anyway, and also the Vertex slide leaves a small gap right there up the front that you can see. If you get a 96A1 or a 90-2 slide and barrel, which I guess you could just call an upper, just like an AR-15, then it will not leave that gap. So, but it hasn't been a problem with me. I've been able to shoot this one fine. I actually shot it a bunch today, so it'll shoot both calibers, and that's one thing I really like about it. It makes it extremely versatile, just like an AR-15. Very, very versatile. I've been able to use the 40 caliber bullets in the 9mm magazines too. It'll hold 15 9mm 9mm rounds for me, and this holds 10, but you can fit 10 40 caliber ones into the 9mm magazines. These feedlets might be a little bit too wide for the 9mm. That's just slightly different. You can see the 40 one's just a little bit wider, but not much different. So I probably wouldn't shoot 9mm through one of the dedicated 40 Smith & Wesson magazines like you can see right here, but it does work, work pretty well. Anyway, ergonomics, I have not as comfortable as the 92A1. The main reason I mentioned the 92A1 is because this one has an integrated rail, and that's probably that's really the main difference between this versus an FS, besides the mainly aesthetics, because it does operate the same way. Still got the safety decocker thing, for those of you guys that know that. But this grip, it's like a one-piece plastic grip here, and on the 92FS and the 92A1, it has grip panels. And the grip panels are much more natural, it's easier to grip. You get used to this one, I've gotten used to it, but if the 92A1 had been on the market when I was in for one of these, I would have had to consider getting it. The thing that just sold me on this gun was the looks. I mean, I love the streamlined look of this slide. I love how all these little pieces are very modernized. They're not blocky like on a 92FS. Hopefully that doesn't offend some people. But I love the curvature. It's such a sleek, sexy gun. It looks good. On these, or I guess I could use this as an example, you can see it just kind of blocky, real squared off, but it has its place. I think the perfect gun Beretta should have offered would have been this slide with the 92A1 frame, because this frame, which I'll get to later with the whole holster thing, is its main downfall, and that's why it doesn't have a lot of holsters and stuff, which I'll get to later. Sights. Standard 3-dot. I'm running tritium night sights on this one, and the one that I bought used from the guy on Beretta forum also has tritium night sights, came with them. So he already had them mounted. These are kind of getting dim. I'll probably have to send them in, but I hear Trijicon's pretty good about replacing them. So the trigger, I have the double action's pretty long, and the single action does break smoothly, but it's very far back. And here's what I'm talking about. As you can see, gun's empty. Okay. Single action is very smooth once it gets there, but you can see it's like a two-stage thing because it catches all the way back here. It's got some take up and it does break smoothly, but it takes forever. And then the double action is very long. And when I have this ready for home defense, I usually have the, let's see, I guess the hammer in like the first stage like that, where it's barely back off of the firing pin. And if I was to ever encounter anything, I would probably just have the hammer back already, because I'm so used to shooting it this way. But I do leave one in the pipe with the hammer down like this. I guess other ergonomics, I didn't put this on the sheet, but safety lever back here doubles up as a decocker for anyone who is familiar with the Beretta 92. Flip it down, completely disconnects the trigger mechanism. You can see the little thing bump up right there, but it doesn't do anything actually with the firing pin or the hammer. And then, back in action whenever you pull that back. So anyway, and if it makes anyone nervous, whenever there's one in the chamber, you can see the safety does rotate the firing pin out of the way when the hammer drops. So nothing to worry about there. Anyway, I guess I should try not to ramble so much. I'm making this long. I have suggested D-spring installation. A lot of the guys on the Beretta forum will put the, let's see, it's a mainspring right here that works with this hammer from the double action only models. They make a 92 and a 96D, and the hammer's flat back here. It's double action only, so it's like that every time. But it's I think the double action pull weight with the D-springs about 8 pounds, and with the single action's about 5. I installed a D-spring and then cut off 2 coils with a Dremel. So my double action is down to, I think, about 7.5 or so, and my single action is at about 4 or 4.5, and it's really smooth. Although with harder 9mm primers, I've gotten a couple light strikes, so I probably should swap that out. But it hasn't failed to fire 40, and that's what I have loaded for home defense anyway. Then it does have an integrated accessory rail here, and that's one thing that sets this apart from the other 92FSs that have just a flat dust cover. Have the ability to put anything on there. I mean, just like anything else, it's great. I have it with this Streamlight, which I really like, and yeah, I mean, you can put a laser on there, anything. I love how this is set up. It's great. Accuracy right there, I have wow, because this thing will shoot great groups. If you can do your part, it'll do its. The sights are a little different. I mean, they're standard 3-dot, but the way that they hit are different. Some people have called this a 12 o'clock hold. Some people have called it a dot the eye sight. When you aim downrange, the bullet's usually going to hit where that front post is. It's not going to hit above it or below it. It's going to hit right where that front post is. It's just something to remember. It's something to get used to. But if you put it right on that, I was shooting steel today. I mean, it hits it every time. This thing is extremely accurate. It's probably because of I don't know if it's because of the fixed barrel or the way it's set up. It just works. So I can't complain about that. Reliability, I have nothing to speak of. It shoots hot and light rounds, and I think the fact that it has a fixed barrel and the slide is so smooth really helps with that. I've loaded some really light rounds, and this thing will feed them fine, whereas something like my Ruger is a little more sturdy. It won't feed them, and this one occasionally won't, just because they're very short action, pistols. But this thing is just smooth as butter. I mean, if you hold one of these and rack the slide on these, there's no resistance. It's extremely smooth. It's not like one of these lock breech pistols where the barrel has to pop out of the way first. It's just right on. Accessories, you can get lights, lasers, anything will fit that, but I'm mainly focusing on magazines here. Magazines are cheap, are pretty readily available. I mean, pretty much anyone makes them because this gun's been out so long. Metgar is considered the best. They do make 20 rounders, and I have that mentioned there, which is pretty awesome. That's up there with the Springfield XDM and 9mm that comes standard with 19. But like I said, the magazines that came with this, I can only fit 15 in them. Other people may can fit 17, but I can't. Metgar is considered the best. I have Pro Mag works for me, but it has complaints. I have one of their standard 15 rounders, and then I also have this fun little 32 rounder, which, I don't know, I guess looks kind of stupid. I just got it for fun. And surprisingly, it actually helps you balance it since it's very front heavy. If you have a fully loaded magazine, it kind of helps this motion. But I don't know, I think everybody should have one. They're just kind of fun. But Pro Mags have worked for me too. I haven't had any issues with those. Price, this isn't a cheap gun. I have 700-ish on buds. It is pretty expensive. Any Beretta product's just going to be expensive. They're just, you know, just a pricey gun. It's high quality. It has a lot of attention to detail. This is an Italian-made gun right here, and then this slide is from Beretta USA. But both of them all have attention to detail, and I don't know. I love it. Great gun. But if I were to give it an overall rating right here, I'd have to cut it shy and say 9 out of 10 just because the grip really bugs me. If they had done this sleek slide and the sleek look with the 92A1 with the slide, not the slide, but the rail here, that would be a surefire winner because it's got the panel grips just like the regular 92 has. And I don't know, I think that would do it. A lot of people probably have that same opinion. But as far as reliability and accuracy and function and accessories and everything go, it's pretty good. But like this is a Phobos holster for a Beretta Vertec, and I thought it would fit because this one says it has a rail, but if you look, I had to Dremel it to grind it to get this thing to fit in here. If it only had the slim frame, just like the 92A1 where it makes this kind of 90-degree turn here, it'd be able to fit in here. But nobody has hardly made any standard paddle holsters for this gun. I've looked at for Blackhawk, Serpas, whatever. Just this ridge right here just bothers everybody. They don't want to have to deal with that. You see how wide it is right there? On the other ones, it makes a 90-degree and kind of goes straight down, and it's easier for them to make holsters that way, I guess. But I don't know. You're kind of limited on options. I have this other little holster I stick it in because I like the inserts. They're either microfiber or suede, but they don't scratch the gun, and I just kind of leave it in there. It's just to protect it. But anyway, that's my review of the Beretta 90-2. If you'd like to see a review of my AR-15 with all the outfits I have on it, please comment. And if you have any other questions, please comment. This is Big Apple signing out. Thanks for watching.